News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
News Talk KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
A little more unflattering attention to Montana from the White House. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning, and it's Thursday, July the 10th, 2014. It's going to be another beautiful day in western Montana. Great summer week so far. Again, it'll be up into the 90s. Right now we have a clear sky and almost clear. Again, that smoky haze still in the valley this morning. 54 degrees at Missoula right now. And our newscast is sponsored by Dig It Excavating. They bring 30 years of excellence to your job. The number's 214-4292. The White House has singled out the oil patch of northwestern North Dakota and northeastern Montana as part of its 2014 National Drug Control Strategy. The report released yesterday says dramatic increases in crime in the Bakken oil-producing region has overwhelmed state, local, and tribal agencies working with limited resources. The document says the FBI and other federal agencies will continue to work with state and local police on law enforcement, quality of life, women's safety, and tribal issues in oil country. North Dakota Attorney General Wayne Stenheim says it's appropriate to be listed in the report because drug crimes in the state increased nearly 20% in the last year. Stenheim says he's preparing a budget for the next legislature that includes, quote, a robust oil patch crime initiative, end quote. 28-year-old William Sandell was arrested Tuesday night after allegedly attacking a woman in downtown Missoula. The police department spokesman Sergeant Travis Welsh explains what happened.
About 10:40, a report came in of a disturbance in the 100 block of North Higgins near the Higgins Street Bridge. The report was that a male had attacked a female in that location, and officers discovered that a male had approached a female from behind, grabbed her from behind, pulled her down to the ground, got on top of her.
Witnesses heard the woman screaming and then came to her rescue.
Other citizens in the area responded to her screams for help, and they managed to chase the male off. He ran down under the Higgins Street Bridge. Some of those witnesses actually chased after him and were able to point him out to responding officers and identify him as the male suspect. He was taken into custody and arrested for aggravated assault.
Sandell has lived in Idaho and another city in Montana, but it's unclear why he was in Missoula. The 26-year-old victim did not know Sandell. The Polson City Commission has proposed tripling the city's water and sewer rates to pay for a $19 million wastewater and sewage treatment plant needed to meet federal discharge regulations that take effect in 3 years. The Missoulian reports it was standing room only for Monday's commission meeting at which the new rates were discussed. Residents that use less than 5,000 gallons of water pay about $30 a month for water and sewer. The proposed rates for the same usage would be in the $90 per month range. Many at the meeting wanted to know how the city expected young families, those on fixed incomes, landlords, and businesses to pay 3 times their current water and sewer rates starting in August. Commissioners tabled the final reading of the proposal. Will take it up again later this month. Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks has teamed up with a variety of conservation groups to offer a larger reward for information about illegal fish introduction into Montana waterways. Here's spokeswoman Vivica Krauser.
Part of this agreement, there's a pledge from these different cooperating groups for an additional cash reward of up to $3,250 in addition to the $1,000 that is available through Fish, Wildlife, and Parks TIPMOT program.
Evidence of illegal fish stocking in western Montana has been found in just the past year.
When you look at illegal fish introductions, there's a variety of different fish that are a part of this. Some recent examples around us in western Montana it was the discovery of smallmouth bass in Seeley Lake, and then very recently here, just within the last month, in Lake Mary Ronan, northern pike.
Even though the reward is bigger, the number to call remains the same. It's 1-800-TIP-MONT. Congressman Steve Daines introduced an amendment yesterday to fund rural Montana water projects. Daines' amendment increases funding for the Rocky Boys Chippewa Cree Tribe and North Central Mountain Rural Water System and the Fort Peck, Assiniboine, and Sioux Tribes, a Dry Prairie Rural Water System. Daines noted that reduced funding of the Fort Peck project has resulted in delayed construction and the costs have actually doubled.
Every year we wait to delay funding of these essential projects, the more expensive the construction, the operation, and the maintenance become. Passing this amendment is responsible stewardship of tax dollars and important to rural communities.
The amendment was passed by the House without opposition and will be included in the final Energy and Water Development bill. A 42-year-old woman who pleaded guilty to robbing casinos in Billings last October to raise bail money for a man facing several felony charges has herself been sentenced to 20 years in prison. District Judge Russell Fagg sentenced Karen Day Damrun Tuesday. She pleaded guilty in May to 3 counts of robbery and 2 counts of attempted robbery, giving her a total of 11 felony convictions. Governor Steve Bullock declared yesterday that Montana had been awarded over $400,000 for outdoor recreation and conservation projects. Parks Division Administrator Chaz Van Genderen says the funds came as part of a package of grants announced by the U.S. Department of the Interior.
The Department of Interior announced their Land and Water Conservation Fund grants for the state side of that program, of which Montana got $409,000 that we'll be granting out around the state of Montana. What we do is we put out an announcement for recreation grants, and folks apply from around the state. It's eligible for tribal lands, municipalities, counties, even school districts can improve their playgrounds with those monies.
Van Genderen said the funds enable state and local governments to establish everything from baseball fields to parks, public access to rivers and lakes, and to conserve natural landscapes.
This year it's a little bit more than previous years. Typically we've been getting somewhere between $250,000 and $350,000 a year, and that's based on our state's total size as well as our population. But, it's going to be a long time before we compete with states like California.
Land and Water Conservation Fund grants have been shown to have a significant economic impact on communities. Reaching Home, Missoula's 10-year plan to end homelessness, has launched a new online single point of entry housing referral program. Coordinator Michael Moore says the single point of entry has been one of the original goals of the project so that homeless people wouldn't have to go from agency to agency looking for assistance.
We identified people that said flat out, this isn't just a barrier, this is enough to just send us away. So we knew that there were people that we were not serving, probably because the barrier of dealing with the whole question and answer system was just overwhelming.
Moore says the new system, called by the acronym CHRIS, standing for Community Housing Referral and Information System, helps both the homeless client and the Reaching Home Missoula staff.
A, lowers the barrier for people to get involved. B, gives us way more usable information that should let us improve our services over time.
The 10-year plan to end homelessness was officially introduced to the community in October of 2012. Our News Talk time is 6:10.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Ample sunshine is expected through the end of the week on into the weekend. High temperatures will run a good 5 to 10 degrees above normal. Today we'll be in the low 90s. By Sunday, we'll be in the mid-90s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.
It's another spectacular summer morning in western Montana. Time to get your walk in before it gets too hot. It's 54 degrees under a hazy sky in western Montana.